This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 127 of the Stable Scoop Radio Show, Cowgirls for a Cause. Please support our sponsors as they make this show possible.
Our title sponsor is Omega Alpha. You can find them at omegaalpha.ca. And this episode is also sponsored by Equestrian Collections at equestriancollections.com and Uncle Jimmy's. And you can find all of his treats at uncle-jimmy's.com. This is Glenn the Geek.
And this is Helena B. And you're listening to the Stable Scoop Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network.
Howdy ho, Helena.
Howdy doody.
I got my cowboy hat on, my cowboy boots, and we're going to get down today.
Speak for yourself. You could get down over there. I'm going to stay up here where it's high and dry and warm. Although it's not really high and dry and warm. It might be high, but it's not dry and warm. Still.
We have a couple of guests coming up today that we're excited to talk to because they do so much stuff. It isn't just one thing. Between the two of them, we have about 5 things we want to talk to them about.
That's exactly right. We're going to now, Tricia, please forgive us, but we're going to meet with, we're going to talk with Tricia Mateer from Equinox Photo and also from Cowgirls for a Cause, and Wanda Goldberg, who has an interesting background, doesn't she? Yes,
she does. She has a show on the Animal Planet, that little network over there, called Faithful Friends. And she's also married to a pretty famous football player guy. And she's also an ex-Hollywood stunt woman and a farrier. What a combination, huh?
I know. I can't wait to pick both of them.
She has a whole bunch of stuff going. And I was watching some of the Faithful Friends, and it just looks like a lot of fun. I want to talk to her about her show, too. And how cool is it to be a host on an Animal Planet show?
I know. You are just you're a fan. You'd be a...
I'm a geek. What do you want?
You are a little bit of a geek. You just... you love Hollywood women. You do.
Yes, I do. I love that, people who have cool jobs.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And you do too. We both love people with really cool jobs.
I know.
Like last week, we got to speak with Tammy Hogue. There's a cool job.
Coolest job ever.
It's so funny because we all think we have a novel in us, and then you listen to Tammy talk and you go, no, I really don't.
Yeah, no, I really don't. I got nothing.
There's nothing there. Nope. Couldn't do what she does.
Nope.
Not going to happen. Not going to be writing a book a year.
No, and I don't think we could hold a candle to Tricia or Wanda either. When we take a look at what these two women have to offer the world, Tricia is a phenomenal fine arts photographer, and of course, Wanda's got a variety of skills and talents that she contributes. But really, I think their most important contribution to the world today is Cowgirls for a Cause. So we're going to talk to Tricia and Wanda about exactly what Cowgirls for a Cause does.
There's one. We're going to give out. We'll post the websites and everything where you can find her art and the clothing and stuff they're going to talk about. But there's one particular one that I really love called Peaceful Barn Metallic Photograph. That is maybe because it's so darn cold here right now, and that looks so warm.
Yeah, that has an effect on it.
Maybe that has something to do with it too. But all right, well, let's get them on after this commercial from Omega Alpha. Let's spend a lot of time talking to them as much as we can, because I think it's just going to be absolutely fascinating. So we're going to be right back with Tricia. You said Mateer. We're not sure if it's Meter. We'll ask her. We'll find out about Tricia, and also Wanda from the Animal Planet show called Faithful Friends. Well, Helena, Omega Alpha Pharmaceuticals creates only natural health products. Their scientists, guided by Dr. Gordon Chang, formulate a wide variety of mainly herbal health products to address many equine health problems. And I have on the line here Kyle Carter, who is an international eventer and well-known throughout the eventing world, who uses Omega Alpha products. Kyle, I understand that you started using Omega Alpha about a year ago.
Yeah, I've been using it for about a year and have noticed a remarkable difference in the horses that have been on it, and then if they've come off of it, the horse's health always has been better on it. It's one of the few supplement companies that I wholeheartedly believe in.
Well, thank you, Kyle. You know, Omega Alpha brings consumers the perfect marriage of nature and science. Look for all of their products at retailers nationwide or visit their website at omegaalpha.ca. That's omegaalpha.ca.
Welcome, Tricia, to the Stable Scoop Radio Show. I'm so happy you could join us today.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much for having us.
Now, you are the Equinox Photo. You're the force behind Equinox Photo, yes?
I am.
And I have to say that it's very hard to impress me. Very, very hard to impress me, especially when it comes to anything.
I've been trying for 2 years.
Any kind of equine art. I am extremely impressed by the originality and the emotion in your photos.
Well, thank you so much.
They're so inspired. How do you tell us a little bit about the process, about how you go and what moments do you look to capture and how do you do that?
Well, you know, I left the corporate world after 10 years of selling cosmetics, and I really wanted to do what I was passionate about, and that was horses and capturing art and capturing people's essence and their spirit. And my favorite thing in the whole world is horses. I mean, they are just magic. And if you get them right and they quote-unquote give it to you, they are just a moving or standing still piece of art. I mean, they're my favorite thing to photograph. And so I really tend to look at them from a different angle. I shoot from very strange angles. I shoot from the ground a lot. A lot of times they're standing above me. And I think I always smell like a horse. I always have hay in my hair, so I think they trust me. I think that's the biggest trick, you know. They smell it on me. They're like, oh, she's one of us. It's fine.
So you tend to catch them in relaxed moments. They're not in that, you know, typical pose or, you know, head up, ears pointed.
Well, sometimes they're running right at me, which is, you know, a challenge. But either way, we always get something good. So it's a really, really great process. And when I first started the business, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to be a wedding photographer. And my life just keeps leading me back to my true passion, which is horses. And I cannot ask for a better job. I am so blessed.
Now, the thing that I think makes your photographs different is I'm guessing what you do to them after you take the shot, because the fine art part of these photographs is you for lack of a better word, you treat them in each shot in a different way, either as black and white or with a sepia filter. Mm-hmm. How do you decide when you look at a photograph? Does it just come to you and says, "Oh, that's a perfect black and white shot," or you know, this could be feathered around the edges? Do the photograph itself speak to you, or is it a series of trial and error to find that artistic touch to it?
Definitely, I know when I'm shooting what it's going to be. Before I was a digital photographer, I shot film, so I learned a long time ago that you couldn't waste your film. And nowadays, we're so lucky that we can shoot and shoot and shoot. But everything is shot in color, and then I'm really known for my black and white photography. I just love it. And then, you know, what I do in the quote-unquote dark room is where really the magic happens. But I used to love to actually be in a real dark room back in the day. And so that's kind of, I set up everything. I kind of know, oh, this is going to make a great T-shirt, or this is going to make a great piece on wood or metal, kind of going into it, knowing what I want to get. And then sometimes it's just a little bit of luck. I mean, I really have to tell you. But I think it's because I just think that they are the most amazing creatures. So I go into it knowing that, oh, this is going to be a piece of art. And that's really my intention when I shoot horses, because they're, you know, you can shoot them doing, you know, jumping or doing things. And I think right now everyone has digital cameras. So my intention is to go into it, you know, showing them from a different light and really letting people see, whether they ride horses or not or have horses, that they're such a beautiful piece of art. I just got a phone call from a client in New York City. She lives in the middle of Manhattan, doesn't have a horse, and she wants one of my pieces 2 foot by 3 foot for a living room. And, you know, everyone loves horses. I mean, it's so great. They may not have them, but I've never met anyone that says, oh, I hate horses. So it's such a great field to be in, to be able to share that with someone who maybe doesn't have access to horses every day.
You know, we are a horse show, but I got to say that I cracked up over here. I'm looking at your photos and it's on equinoxphoto.net. And the dog, the safari dog, cracked me up. Now that one I would hang on my wall in my office. That's fun. How did that come about?
It's just being in the right place at the right time. And again, I'm always laying on the ground and doing something wacky. So the dogs, I think that's my biggest tip for people is you can't shoot dogs or animals from above them because then you become the alpha. You really have to lay down and really become part of the pack or part of the herd. And so that's kind of the trick is then they kind of, give it to you and stick out their tongue or laugh and have fun. And so, it's not always art. Sometimes it's just, capturing the personality of animals, which is really fun too. I said that I should have a shampoo company sponsor me because I've always got hay or grass or sand or dirt in my hair, which would be really great.
Well, there's some terrific photos on here, and you do great work. No question about it. And we've had quite a few photographers on the show over the last couple of years, and your photos, as Helena said, are different. They have a different feel to them, and I think that's you're definitely bringing your art out through the photography, which is just terrific. Now we have you and Wanda both on. Hi, Wanda, by the way.
Hello.
We have you both on here, and we're talking. One of the reasons that you were recommended to us is Cowgirls for a Cause. Can you tell us what that is and what it involves and why it exists?
Oh, do you want to do this, T, or do you want me to?
You go, my partner in crime. I've talked enough.
I'll go. Well, our little slogan, our catchphrase is Cowgirls for a Cause, benefiting hoofs and paws. So we are animal lovers through and through. I mean, that's all we want to do in life. So, I mean, with me having the TV show and Tricia being the amazing photographer and, our shared love of animals, we thought, gosh, we both have rescue horses in our barn. Let's do something where we can make this bigger. We got to tap into the bigger picture. So we thought, gosh, let's take Tricia's artwork and put it onto T-shirts and raise money for horse rescue, dog rescue, that kind of thing. And that's where it all kind of stemmed from. And I mean, in true Tricia Wanda style, we're sitting around one day saying, we should probably do this. And the next day, Tricia's got shirts ordered and a printer picked out. And I'm
awesome.
calling companies to sell shirts that we don't even have in our possession yet. And we've had a T-shirt company started, and we didn't even know what the heck happened. And we still don't know what the heck happened, but it's definitely happening.
How did
we
you
put
two
the
meet?
cart before the horse.
How
Yes,
did you two get
absolutely.
together?
Oh, that's a funny story. Trish, I'll let you tell that one.
So, as I said, before I was an artist and photographer, I actually worked in the cosmetics world, and my company, I worked for Estee Lauder, and my company was going to sponsor Wanda Season 2, where we were going to have our products in her trailer, so that when people came to visit her, her trailer would smell all fluffy and wonderful. And so I got together with her at our local breakfast joint, and we were supposed to talk about business, and all we talked about was ponies and tractors. I mean, she was like, "You have a tractor?" I was like, "I do." And it was da-da-da-da-da-da for 2.5 hours, and the next thing you know, we were BFFs and partners in crime and riding. Then the strangest thing is that my horse threw a shoe. She came over to my barn, and she said, "Oh, I know that horse." And I definitely, if you believe in destiny, this is it in action. But her horse came from the same exact auction, the same exact night as my horse. So our horses knew each other before we did.
That's the universe exerting itself, isn't it?
Thank you. I agree completely.
Definitely is.
Yes.
And then we were just kind of inseparable from that point on, because we just kept finding all these things in common. And it's you're as a fellow female, you know what it's like to meet other girls that you like totally and absolutely click with, right? Like it takes some searching.
It definitely does. And sometimes, when you find that person, it's like getting bonked on the head. Oh my God, I love her.
I would go home and be like, Wanda. And my husband's like, who is this Wanda?
I know. It's like you're 12.
Yeah, I know, right? Ponies. Wanda.
Well,
right.
guys, the only reason I'm in this picture is Helena's best friends with my wife. So it's the only reason I'm here.
We bonded in the grain room at a barn, 20 million years ago. So the two of you, you get you meet, the stars align, everything is great, and now you're in this you're in this effort together. Do you feel like you're making a difference? Is it doing what you wanted it to do?
Well, Wanda started shooting with me, and she would come on my shoots, and she would assist me or do hair and makeup if we were doing, a woman's shoot, and really started to get involved in the process and have a real appreciation for what it took to create art. And that was really fun to see because she was actually creating at the same time, but just not clicking the shutter. And so, we really only started 4 weeks ago, and the response has been so fun. And where the brand came from too was the lack of cool and fun horse shirts out there, because none of the shirts actually had horses on them.
I know.
Yeah,
whether it was English.
We went to a number of tax stores yesterday, and then a couple days before that, we went to 4 more. Not one single item in the store, any of the stores, actually had a horse on them, which we thought was fascinating considering that tax stores cater to horse lovers. There were lots of roses and rifles and, the whole, as Tricia calls it, the angry cowgirl concept.
Yes.
But there were no horses. So we're like, okay, we've really got something here. And plus, Tricia, as you've noticed, is quite humble about her photography. And I'm not humble about her photography at all, because she's unbelievable. She never ceases to amaze me. I'm always saying, oh my goodness, I need a copy of that for my house. My house is an artistic showroom for Tricia. And this is the other thing, is no one can duplicate what we're doing. And it's really neat to go into these stores and have the people have the same reaction to the T-shirts as I have to Tricia's artwork every time I see it. So, yeah, I think we're definitely onto something. And as soon as people hear that, our hearts are in horse rescue and dog rescue, they just, their hearts, their minds, and their wallets just open up. They're like, we got to help.
Now, describe the clothing for everybody.
Oh, okay. Well, we have two different styles of shirts currently. I'd say we have thermals and we have burnout. So what we want is the shirts to be something that you would wear to ride your horse, but that when you finish riding your horse, you're still cute and dressed up enough that you can go run errands, go to the grocery store, go pick your child up at school, do whatever you need to do, but you don't look necessarily like you just walked out of the barn. So it's wearable art that functions on an everyday level. Yet if you put a cute pair of skinny jeans and high boots and a nice long, necklace and, do yourself up, it's cute enough to wear out, on a dressier level. But we want to keep it functional.
Right. So you go out looking good and smelling like a horse.
Which is perfect. I still think there's room to design a horse-scented perfume, and I'll be the poster child for it. I think it would sell.
How about a hay-scented perfume? How about perfume that smells like a bale of hay, fresh, good, second cut?
Alfalfa hay, yeah, that really sweet hay smell. There you go.
I think there's a market there.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, it is very attractive, and I would say too that this crosses all lines. It's not English Western.
Wait a minute, we could do horse-colored lipsticks. Listen, me. Notice me. Did you notice how I inserted myself into this whole thing? You could do a pretty raisin color, you call your lipstick bay, and then you could have a swirl.
There you go.
You've got the background. I would buy it.
The gray could be kind of scary.
Well,
yeah, I don't know exactly what dappled gray lipstick would look like, but
you could do dapple gray eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be dapple gray lipstick. It could be eyeshadow.
I'll use my cosmetic background. We'll get together. It'll be great.
There you go.
Well, we are coming out with a line of coffee mugs with horses on them, and we're just thrilled to death about them because we are not messing around with these coffee mugs. They're 15 ounces. So it's when you get up at 5:45 in the morning to turn your horses out or clean the barn, you can have a big old cup of coffee. So we're very excited about those. They should be out in about 2 weeks.
And if I know that we've got a couple of different places where we can find out information about both of you. Is there one central place where we can learn more about what you're going to be offering through Cowgirls for a Cause?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can go.
Simply, go, girl.
You go.
Look how nice they are to each other. See, this is why they're best friends.
we spend a little time together. Usually we just say the same things at the same time, so I'm surprised we didn't. But
See, Helena and I just step on each other and go
He's
right
lucky
on.
he's not in the same office because I'd kick him in the shins, punch him a little bit. It's all love. It's all love. Just comes out in different ways.
Oh God.
So where can we find out more
They can hang out with us.
Where can we find out more about Cowgirls for a Cause?
It's simply cowgirlsforacause.com.
Oh, well, there you go.
It'll
That's
say,
easy enough.
Yep, you can shop there. We've got wholesale accounts. We've got what's coming out, what's new. You can access my art there. You can contact us. You could stalk us, whatever you want to do.
The stalking's going to be easy in Wanda's case because she has this little thing that she does called a TV show.
True.
It's called Faithful Friends. It's on Animal Planet. You have to tell us how that came about. How do you get to be a celebrity on a TV show?
An Animal Planet.
An Animal Planet TV show.
You don't care about the rest of the TV world. If you want to deal with the one that has to do with
This isn't on Discovery. This isn't on one of those crappy networks like Food. This is Animal Planet.
Wait a minute.
I happen to like the Food Network, actually, but
we have got to put the brakes on because I cannot believe that Glenn just said that.
I do like the Food Network.
This is a man who talks about food. The way how we insert horses into every conversation, he inserts food into every conversation. So I can't believe
what man doesn't.
Well, that's true. That is true. And we actually do watch Food Network and Animal Planet. We watch 3 now: Nat Geo, Food Network, and Animal Planet, probably more than any of the other networks combined.
Yeah, and I love all 3 of those too. They're great. They do a really good job. But I kind of got tricked into hosting a TV show on Animal Planet, same as I got tricked into becoming a stunt woman way back in 1999. But that's
okay. Wait a minute. Stop there. How do you get tricked into being a stunt woman? Somebody just throws you off a building and now you're a stunt woman?
And hands you a
check.
check.
Come over here. You see that thing down there? That's a pad.
You almost nailed it right on the head. Okay. How I became a stunt woman. I just got back from Australia from doing my blacksmith apprenticeship, my farrier apprenticeship. And I was doing farrier work and modeling, which is not a good combination, I'm here to tell you right now.
There's another combination that doesn't go together. You're absolutely right.
It does not go together at all. So my friend, who's a stunt coordinator, thought, Wanda would make a good stunt woman. She's athletic, she's good with horses, she's really tiny, she's curvy, because he couldn't find doubles for the tiny lead actresses. So he called me up and he said, hey, can you take a couple weeks off doing whatever you're doing? Come on this movie set and be my assistant. I was like, I'd love to. I've never been on a movie set before. So I show up. One of the directors sees me and says, who's this girl? And my friend says, oh, that's Wanda. That's my assistant. And the director says, well, does she do stunts? And he goes, oh, God, yeah. If it involves a horse, she can do anything. And the director said, well, hire her. She's a dead ringer for the lead actress. And my friend said, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So he called me at home that night and said, by the way, get in tomorrow morning for your wardrobe fitting because you're doubling the lead actress. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be on set every day for the next month and a half. And I was like, cool, I'll see you tomorrow. And the next day, I got ran over by a horse at a full gallop.
Oh, my God. And then someone handed you a check, and you said, okay, let's do it again.
They handed me a check, and I knew that's what I had to do for the rest of my life. I was completely in love. I'm like, this is great. So that's how I became a stunt woman. And then, as being a stunt woman, I met my husband on a movie set. And
tell everybody who your husband is.
My husband is the hottest man on the planet. And if you can't figure out who that is by me just saying that, he also goes by Bill Goldberg.
Who happened to have been an NFL player and an actor and a wrestler and all that stuff all combined. Say, you guys can't decide on anything. I think you just can't make up your mind. Between the two of you, there's 12 professions here.
Well, hey,
we're never bored.
That's true.
And you gotta keep reinventing yourself, right?
Yeah. The more things you do, the more fun you can have.
Exactly. But the whole Animal Planet thing, this is also a freaky, stars aligning thing. So I'm moving out to California, and I'm bringing, clothes and a horse. I have a place to put the clothes, but I have nowhere to put the horse. So my husband gets on the phone. Well, he's my fiance at that time. And he's talking to his web guy who lives in, Ohio. And he says, oh, yeah, Wanda's moving out here with her horse. I got to find a place to put it. And his friend from Ohio says, hey, I know a guy that lives a mile down the road from you. I do like a bunch of radio and TV work with him. His daughters have horses. I'll call him. So he calls Tony. Tony says, yeah, tell her to bring her horse here. She can keep it here as long as she wants to, and if she wants to move it later, she can. So I arrive in where I'm living now. My horse arrives the next day. The first people I meet when I move out here, which is 6.5 years ago, are Tony and his wife Lori, where I keep my horse. Well, couple years later, Tony's working for Doctors Foster and Smith on a marketing contract, and he pitches the idea of a TV show to them. Well, I have a background in marketing, so Tony's calling me and, running marketing ideas past me and ideas for this TV show. He hasn't informed me that I'm the host. We're just bouncing ideas off each other. So he goes to meet with these people in Wisconsin. They say, yeah, we want to do the TV show. Here's the money. Tony calls me back and he says, how do you feel about working with a teleprompter? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never done it before, so I guess I don't have any issues with it because I've never done it before. And he goes, well, you're going to be hosting the TV show. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, you're perfect. You'll be the host of the TV show. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm the host of the TV show now. And then the whole TV show just took off. And, we got picked up by Animal Planet right away, our first season. And our second season aired on Animal Planet. And we just found out that the TV show got picked up by NBC.
Really?
Yeah, so now our season 3 will air on NBC.
When?
Oh, that's fabulous. Good for you.
When's it going to air? When will it air on NBC?
We don't know yet. We haven't started filming. We still haven't gotten all our I's dotted and our T's crossed as far as contracts and everything go. But that's where we're heading. We're on NBC now. So
holy cowgirl. Literally.
Holy cowgirl for a thought.
That was great.
I didn't mean that, actually. It just came out. This is terrific. Now, is this going to be an evening thing, or do you know anything about that?
We're talking right now about a Saturday morning block of possibly 2 hours. So it'll be my show in conjunction with some other footage that we have as well. And there's also talk it may possibly be Saturday and Sunday we'll have a block.
Now, tell everybody what the show is that hasn't seen it. We're going to do that, actually, right after this commercial break. We'll be right back, and we're going to learn all about Faithful Friends. Regular listeners to the Stable Scoop Show know that Helena and I just love Uncle Jimmy's and his fantastic line of products. His products have the highest quality ingredients, and that is why they have taken off like they have. Of course, it all started with Uncle Jimmy's hanging balls for use in the stalls, and then came squeezy buns. We know you need to reward your horse outside of the stall as well. That is why Uncle Jimmy developed Uncle Jimmy's squeezy buns. Squeezy buns are all natural and loaded with nutritional ingredients for your horse. Unlike similar products on the market, they are individually wrapped to preserve freshness and eliminate mess. With competitive pricing and Uncle Jimmy's quality guarantee, the Squeezy Buns promise to be a hit among horses and horse lovers alike. Learn more about all of Uncle Jimmy's products or to find a dealer, visit uncle-jimmys.com. That's uncle-jimmys.com. So we're back, and, I want to hear more about Faithful Friends, and I wanted to remind everybody we're speaking with Trisha and Wanda, and they've got together, and they have multiple projects they're doing. One of them is Cowgirls for a Cause, and then, of course, there's that little real job that Wanda happens to do as the host of Faithful Friends. So tell us, what is Faithful Friends? What's the concept, and what do you do on the show?
Well, I'm the host of the show, and the TV show is all about pets and how to care for pets. And our focus is predominantly domestic pets. So it's very basic, hands-on pet care information that anyone who owns a pet currently can use, or if you're considering getting a pet, it kind of enables you and empowers you to feel more comfortable about getting a pet. So instead of running to a vet or a groom or, any type of thing like that every time you have an issue with your pet, we try and teach you things to do with your pets, how to care for them, that you can just do yourself. So it's just basic information. We also have little characters, cartoon characters on our TV show, so it makes it a very fun show to watch with your children. I have a 4-year-old son, and he loves it. He just loves the show.
And we have to say here, I have to interject, that the big, strong, most handsome guy in the world, her husband...
No, say it. Sexiest man in the world.
Oh, sorry.
Say it.
Sexiest man in the world happens to be the voice of Froggy the puppet on the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that makes him a keeper.
Exactly. And Jeff Gordon, NASCAR racer Jeff Gordon, is the voice of Racer.
Oh,
Our dog.
I can't wait to watch.
I got to ask you, Nigel's a bit of a nut. What's he like to work with?
Oh, my gosh. He is hilarious.
That's Nigel Marvin.
I don't know if you saw the segment. He's so talented. I don't know if you saw the segment that he and I did together, and at the end of the little segment, he, wrapped a snake around my neck.
Yes.
And you saw that? Okay.
Yeah, by the way, I would have been out of there. Go on.
They put that, counter in front of me so you couldn't see my legs shaking. That's why that was there. I am so scared of snakes. So as soon as I said to Nigel, you can put the snake around my neck because I'm not going to look at it. And if I can't see it, it can't see me. And if that snake's head comes anywhere near my face, you grab it or that snake is going to be somewhere in Mexico after I throw it because I'm terrified. So he's like, okay, I assure you if its head comes near your head, I'll get it off of you. Well, he's such a liar. Right at the end of the clip, the snake is like, ooh. And I'm like, oh, God. Yeah. But Nigel Marvin is a hoot. Yeah. And he'll be with us again, we're hoping to come in and do some guest spots and stuff like that.
I have to tie in here. There was a photo of Trisha's that it says friends, and I think it was Maurice and Sinatra.
Oh, yeah.
Any way we can get those two on the show? Because, that looks like the epitome of faithful friends.
Oh, I know. And
Tell me about
that
that story.
vicious pit bull.
Tell me about the story behind those two, the bird coming in, and then we'll get back to the show. But I just made me think of these two of faithful friends. I love the concept behind the show that it's it just reaches out. I like the fact that it's going to be on Saturday morning and you're reaching out to people and to children in that time spot. And then we've got this photo from Trisha that totally epitomizes everything that the both of you are doing right now. What is that? What's the history behind that photo?
Well, that is my, quote unquote, vicious pit bull Sinatra, which that's my dog. Yeah. And, living in Southern California, we always have our doors open, and I was working in my studio, and Maurice the hummingbird, we had already named him, comes into the studio all the time. And he works his way in the house, but then he can't get out. He forgets, how he came in. And so that particular day, he was flying around the house, and I'm like, you have to leave. You cannot be in here. So finally he leaves and he goes out, and I think he had to take a breather. So he sat on that windowsill right in my studio, and, Sinatra just sat right there. And it was one of those things, that image is not Photoshopped. That's exactly how it happened. And Maurice was really trying to persuade Sinatra on the benefits of being a vegetarian, but, Sinatra was just not buying it. And so they had, 20-minute discussion about this, and that's the real image. And that's the thing, is that, we just do not even conceptualize animals and what geniuses they are and how smart they are. And I know you're not supposed to humanize animals, but they're so wonderful. I mean, it's just, they give you so many, the dog with the tongue, and so many of the things that Wanda and I run into with animals and horses. We went to go shoot a beautiful stallion, and its owner said that it was supposed to buck and be wild in the morning, and we got there at 6:45, and all he wanted to do was kiss us, and we were like, jump around, do something interesting, and he wouldn't do anything. So,
it was adorable because Trisha's sitting on the fence, and there's this multi-million-dollar racehorse stallion on the other side of the fence, and he's nibbling on her and caressing her leg and being all he just wants to be held and cuddled. And I'm on the phone texting back and forth with the owner, and I said, oh yeah, we're here at the barn, we're with Secrets, we're hanging out. And I said, Trisha's on the fence playing around with them, and I get a text back immediately, be careful, he bites. And I text back to her right away, and I said, oh, that's hilarious. because he's nibbling on Trisha as we speak. But it was so funny because he's supposed to be this big, nasty, like, bad boy. And he's, like, totally settling with Trisha. I mean, she's got a gift.
Aw.
He was like, call me. Let me call me. Hit me up on Facebook. I'm on Twitter.
Send me. I'll send you later.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, this is great, guys. You, the other thing I wanted to ask you is about your own horses. Now, you ride Western. I assume Cowgirls that you're riding Western. Although you can't say that anymore. The dressage riders today are wearing more Western stuff than I've ever seen Western people wear.
Well, we both are like basic, trail riding rednecks at this point, but we both rode English and did jumping, and I never dabbled in dressage. I think you did, Tricia, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ride dressage on trail. I just like, I don't know, I think the darn saddle is so heavy I can't lift it, so I ride dressage. But we always say, just ride your pony. It doesn't matter what you ride.
Yep,
get off the couch, go out there and ride. And, so that's, even though we're called Cowgirls for a cause, we both, we've both ridden English, we both have English saddles, and, it doesn't matter. That's, we really want to speak to everyone about, how amazing horses are. And two of our shirts, one of them is dressage and one of them is a jumping horse, and they're equally popular with the Western collection as well. And we'll continue to always do both, like all four categories, because we all believe that it's really important to appeal to all horse people.
Last week, Helena, we had on Tammy Hogue, the author, and she said this. She would say the same thing. I mean, she rides dressage, but she said the same thing. I just like to get out and ride. She also played a little polo last year, and did a bunch of different things. And we say that all the time on our morning show is just go out and ride. That's the first step of all of this.
And I think the other thing, too, that when you get up there and you kind of talk to horse people and you say, oh, I ride Western, oh, I ride dressage, oh, I do hunter jumper, whatever. Each person, like, who truly is into it because they love their horses crosses over. They'll pull little tricks from the Western people, and the Western people will use, disciplines that the dressage people use, just to keep their horses' minds fresh. And there's just little really handy things that each discipline does that work well no matter what kind of horse you're riding. So, I mean, more and more and more, I think people are kind of getting away from the whole, just being in their little one style, whereas they're saying, oh, I get that. I think that natural horsemanship works, so I'll try that. And, the some of the, collection and all the different side passing and stuff the dressage people do, the Western people incorporate. So I think everybody steals a little bit from each discipline whenever they can.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, we've both ridden. I got my first pony when I was 3. Juan has been riding forever, and we were both fortunate to grow up on farms. So honestly, we rode bareback most of the time. I mean, just, that Juan is right in the sense that this job has really gotten us to connect with all riders, and I think more than ever, everyone is open to different disciplines. And I remember in the 90s, the hunter jumpers didn't talk to the reiners or the barrel racers, and now everyone is really coming together, and I think that it's a great time to be a horse owner. It really is.
That's one of the things we've tried to do in this show is, and in the Horse Radio Network in general, is our actual mission statement is one sentence, and that's uniting the horse world one show at a time. And on this show, especially with Helena and I, it's been so fascinating because we're talking to people in and I mean some of the weirdest aspects of the horse world. And everything is so fascinating for us. It's so neat to learn that there are people doing ski journing and, all the weird stuff out there. So, it is fun. It's fun for us to get to talk to people like yourselves as well. We're going to take one more break, and then we're going to come back and wrap it up. And I want to make sure that we give out the addresses of everything again. So we'll be right back. Hey everyone, it's that time of the year again for after holiday closeout sales, and Equestrian Collections has hundreds of items for you at tremendous savings up to 70% off. Closeouts from Ariat, JPC, Pessoa, Ovation, and so many more. Highly discounted specials include ladies' apparel, footwear, saddle pads, bags, belts, coats, and the list goes on and on. Remember, you can save up to 70% now, but this is a closeout and quantities are limited. So grab the keyboard and type in equestriancollections.com. You'll see the great big ad right on their homepage for all of their closeout specials now for the month of January. Get them before they're gone at equestriancollections.com. Well, we're back here with Trisha and Wanda, and we're gonna give out the address. It's Cowgirls for a Cause, and you can find all of their. Now, the shirts are available now for shipping. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So.
Yep.
They're super cute.
And then,
cute.
You know, we're going to be at the wholesale show here in a couple of weeks in Philadelphia, and I got to believe that this kind of stuff would really sell. So. And in the as far as it's Equinox Photo, and that's spelled AQUINOX photo.net to see your art. And your art's for sale as well, too, right, Tricia?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And you can access the art via the Cowgirls for a Cause website, and everyone can friend us on Facebook. That's always fun as well.
I have a favorite in the art, by the way, and it actually is not one that has a horse on it or a pretty girl.
Can I guess?
Yeah,
Can I
go.
guess?
Yes.
It's the barn.
It's the barn. And you want to know why it's the barn? Your good guess is it looks warm. It looks warm.
You know what? I know this isn't going to come as a shock to you, but I have that piece hanging in my house, and it's actually printed on recycled wood. And it's 2 feet by 3 feet, and this piece of wood, is this the one that was pulled out of the dumpster?
Yes, we're doing a whole series
piece of wood? Yeah.
Yes. Doing a whole series on recycled animals, recycled dogs on recycled wood, really to tell the story that, you know, what may be thrown away to some people, which is really happening in the rescue world, is a treasure to others. So these pieces of wood are literally pulled out of the garbage dumpsters or from old houses, and then we print the photographs right on them, which is really neat. The cracks. Yeah. So that's
now,
fun.
the one you have for sale here says, and I didn't understand it quite, it says Peaceful Barn metallic photograph. What makes it metallic?
The metallic paper is this beautiful, beautiful, highly glossed paper, and it's super colorful, and it just catches everything, and it's just a special paper, and it almost looks 3D. It's Wanda's favorite paper when we print on it as well, but it captures the whole colors, and you know, that particular barn is not photoshopped. We were on the way. I shot a book with a wonderful man named Robin Shen. We were on the way to shoot that in Central California. This book. And it was alongside of the road, and I was like, "Stop the car!" And my husband thought we hit something, and we saw this beautiful organic farming barn in the middle of nowhere, and we ran up there and probably trespassed on their property and got that shot. So it was just the time of the day.
Probably,
that was just so
you
beautiful.
did trespass.
And you know,
I have to wear black a lot.
When we had we have a number of photographers on the show, and this one epitomizes what they all say, and that is, a photo is the light. The light is everything in a photo, and of course, Wanda understands that working in TV, because lighting is everything. And in this photo, it's the lighting. It is the light that made
but now, see, I would say it's the color composition.
But I think it's the light
that's what makes the light, though.
Right.
I mean,
or the light makes the color composition. Yeah.
And I say that because it's different things to different people. It reaches out to so many different. It reaches into a different place in so many different people.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Am I making myself clear? It's It's like the warmth. Glenn noticed it because it was warm. And I look at it, I don't say warm, but I feel a richness, a depth, the turquoise that's in there and the peacefulness that you feel.
Other fascinating thing about that picture is, like I said, I have it hanging in my house. And it's not a part of my house where it gets direct light on it. However, that picture, I don't know how she did that, but it generates its own light. It's incredible, because during the day it looks one thing, and then at night, even if the lights are on real dim, you got to take a look and think that I've installed, like a artist light above it, or whatever you call those things. I don't know those technical terms, but it always has light. It's very weird.
I'm going to put this one on my Christmas list for sure. And the other thing I noticed about your artwork that's for sale is they're not expensive. This is like $45.
Yes, on Etsy, Etsy is an amazing website for everything on Etsy must be handmade. So you can buy everything from beautiful pieces of art to sock monkeys. It's just a really great program. And I wanted to have the pieces low enough price so that, again, someone in the middle of New York City could have a beautiful barn, because in America we're losing barns. I mean, people are just bulldozing them down. And so a portion of the proceeds do go back to Cowgirls for a Cause, and I wanted it to be, in that price range that people could purchase them and not have to, spend a fortune. But so that was really the intention behind those. And the name Equinox comes from the word ek, which is, or equine, and then it also is the 2 times of the year that there's equal dark and light. And that's really, as you said, so many photographers believe in the light, and so whenever Wanda and I go and do a shoot together, I'm like, well, let me check out the lighting. What time is it? Because that's really the trick is the light, especially with horses.
Well, I really hope that this venture does everything that you hope it can do, because it sounds like, I don't know, maybe it's just me and I like you guys because I think you're kind of cool, but it's that universe exerting itself again. Sometimes that I'm a big believer in the yin and the yang and the balance of life, and I look around and I hear stories, especially in the horse world, with being part of the Horse Radio Network. We are losing barns, we're losing land, we're losing our horsemanship, we're losing so much. And I think people like Tricia, you and Wanda are coming out of the woodwork with your talents and your passion. And I think if enough people do that, we can reestablish the balance in our world.
I
agree.
We can
start small, but if there's enough of us doing it, I think you could end up having a big impact. And Cowgirls for a Cause, I mean, a lot of people want to do good, but I think you have a little something special, a little something extra that can really make it work. And I would personally would love it if you would come back and keep us updated on where you're going with this and how it's doing.
Yeah, we would love that. And, one of the things that we're going to be doing is choosing rescue facilities around our area or around the country and blogging about them and really making a difference for some of the rescue facilities that need our help the most. And there are so many, but we really want to be able to spotlight them. Also, like the Horsepedia is doing as well, but we're collaborating with her to find some of the independent horse rescues that could really need, whether it's, a small amount donated to them to help with their hay supply, but to really pick those facilities that need our help the most, and that's really what we're going for.
Well, that's terrific, and thank you guys for being on with us. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure that we'll be chatting with you again. And good luck with all of your ventures, and good luck with NBC. Couldn't get any higher than that.
We're excited.
I bet. You'll be more excited when the contracts are signed.
We are going to be at Equine Affair and talk about Destiny happening, but we went to one of our vendors last week, and she invited us to share a booth at Equine Affair, which, being a small company, we weren't ready to take on our own venture, and she invited us, and so we're just thrilled to death. We're going to cause some trouble at Equine Affair and have our T-shirts there, so
and that's in Equine Affair, California?
Yes, it's in Pomona. Wanda, do you know what booth we're in? Did she hang up?
No, I don't think so.
We may have lost her.
Wanda, are you still there?
Oh, we may have lost her.
That's all right. Showing her here, but
she's probably jumping off a building or something.
That's all right. Well,
does that.
I'm here.
Oh, there she is.
I hit the mute button because I'm trying to load my horse in the horse trailer.
Oh, jeez.
We literally have a shoot right now.
All right, well, we'll let you guys go. We'll let you guys go, and we'll let you know when the show goes up. I'll send you an email, and good luck with everything.
It was a pleasure. You guys are so fun.
All right.
Oh, thanks.
You
too.
lot, guys.
And
go
don't forget those
horse.
lipsticks.
Yeah. She wants a commission.
We'll put that on the list.
I'll be looking for them.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
You guys.
Thank you.
Well, that was fun. Those two were a riot. What a
Oh my
hoot.
God, beyond fun. You see, girl talk, this is what I love about being a girl, is like you can go and be all philosophical and you get all, like you meet girls and then it's like girly girl, lipstick, makeup, photographs, Cowgirls for a cause. And then you go, oh my God, these girls are so cool. I want to be their best friend.
Can you believe her husband, who looks like a professional wrestler, is actually the voice of one of the puppets in the show? I mean, did you see his picture? He looks like a professional wrestler. He's a big guy.
Because he is. He's a football player.
Professional wrestler, actor. What a fun life those two lead. And how unique is it that they got to meet like they did and become best friends? You know?
I think they're going to be great. I really do believe that they're going to make an impact on the world. I don't know why. I don't. Every once in a while, you just sort of say, something's happening here, and I'm just going to ride it.
And how much she pins herself, Wanda, waking up in the morning knowing that she's going to be on NBC. I mean,
I would be happy just with Animal Planet.
I know. But then a network picks you up? That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's good stuff. Well, thank you both. We appreciate it. We'll put links to all these websites in our show notes at stablescoop.com. We hope you've enjoyed it, today's show as much as we did. We've had some fun shows here in the last couple of weeks. Next week's going to be a little bit different. I'm doing my first one-on-one. And, you know, Helena did a one-on-one a while back, and that is where it's just, I kick Helena off the show next week. It's just going to be me, and I'm doing a one-on-one with Anna Twiney, who we've had on the show before.
Love her.
And you had her on a couple of weeks ago with Jennifer when you were on, and you were talking about training and training babies and things. Well, she is also an animal communicator, which we really haven't spent much time talking to her about. And I'm not a big believer in animal communication, and she knows that. So we're going to do a one-on-one about animal communication. So we're going to spend an hour getting in depth on that topic. And, you know, I explained to her how I felt about it, and she said, I'm ready. She said, let's get together and let's put all the cards on the table. So I have prepared a list of questions, and they're not easy. You know, I'm really going after her a little bit here about animal communication. I believe that people can have strong relationships with animals. I think some people are better with animals than other people. Do I think that people can read animals' minds through the telephone? No. And that's where I stop. And Anna's, we're gonna chat about that. So I think it should be a very interesting conversation.
I'll be listening. I'll be a fan on that show.
Well, and so that's coming up next week. And, of course, you can find all of our show notes and everything right at stablescoop.com.
And then we have more. What?
This is the part where you jump in and say, we would love your feedback.
I know, but, you know, it's because you go out of order. In our show notes, it says show wrap up, and then you just kind of go to, like, spot number 4.
But, you know, as Jennifer says, you married me that way. We've been doing this 127 episodes, so I can say the same thing.
I know, but at least that's my excuse. That's my excuse. All right, so be sure to log on next Friday for another episode of Stable Scoop. As always, we love your feedback. Please follow us on Facebook under Stable Scoop, at Twitter, at Horse Radio, and, of course, you're welcome to always leave us feedback at stablescoop.com/contact.
Many thanks to all our sponsors, Omega Alpha, Equestrian Collections, and Uncle Jimmy's. Next time I see you, Helena, we'll be together in Philadelphia. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
And that's it for this week.
Many thanks to our sponsors, Equestrian Collections and Uncle Jimmy's brand products.
I just did that too.
Well, I have no idea what's wrong with me. What did you say?
I said the last line, well, Helena, that's it for this week.
Well, Glenn, I think that's plenty. Apparently for me, it's plenty. But there will be more next week.
Blooper reel.
Holy cow!